We first turn to the decision from the European Court of Justice regarding holders of Swiss franc loans. It was decided that a mortgage agreement could be deemed invalid under certain circumstances and that the borrower could pay off the mortgage at the exchange rate from the day of its issue. The mortgage would be in zlotys. Here are the details.
This is how a small fraction of an almost 800,000-strong group of Poles who have mortgages in Swiss francs celebrated the ruling of the European Court of Justice.
I'm happy. I hope that my case will set an example for others.
It was because of a lawsuit filed by Mr Dziubak and her husband that the case reached the European Court of Justice. Today, the institution gave people who have mortgages in francs strong arguments to fight the banks in Polish courts.
We're very happy with today's ruling.
Lawyers have no doubts. Debtors will benefit from the ruling in future legal battles with banks.
The contract can only continue to function legally if the court rules that such a contract is valid. It then leaves the contract in zlotys and using LIBOR. The court can't fill in any blanks in the contract.
That would translate into paying off the mortgage on much better conditions in comparison to a regular mortgage in zlotys. If the court deems the contract null and void, the contract can still function if the debtor clearly expresses such a will. Annulment of the contract would make it necessary to immediately pay back the remaining amount. The court can't substitute the prohibited provisions with others.
This ruling influences all contracts containing prohibited clauses. There's no difference if the mortgage is indexed or denominated.
Today's ruling will ease the battle with banks, but does not guarantee a win for every debtor. Each contract is different, and not in every one will the court find prohibited clauses.
This shouldn't be treated as a get-out-of-jail-free card. The trial must be well prepared.
Today's decision of the ECJ gives hope to many. Over a decade ago, mortgages in Swiss francs were much more advantageous than regular mortgages in zlotys. The strengthening of the Swiss currency has led to debtors making much higher payments today.
We've paid back 255,000 zlotys. The mortgage was for 346, and the bank is demanding 520,000 zlotys.
The stronger position of debtors might spell trouble for the banks. According to various calculations, the ECJ's ruling might cost them between 20 and 60 billion zlotys.
The ministry is constantly monitoring the situation in the banking sector.
The Polish Banks Association underlines that it is the courts which are responsible for ruling in disputes between banks and their customers.
The assessment of a mortgage contract can be and shouldn't be automatic.
After today's ruling, lawyers are expecting a flood of lawsuits against banks.